Welcome to my channel Geography Now. In this channel, I am going to share various topics of geography in a simple and interesting way. If you find my video helpful, then please subscribe my channel and press bell icon for latest update. So in this video, I am going to tell you about a very important topic for upcoming NET examination, that is continental drift theory by Alfred Wegener. So Alfred Wegener initially presented his ideas in 1912 and it came into light in 1992 in a book titled Die Sternhang der Kontinent und Ozean, which was translated in English in 1924, named as The Origin of Continents and Oceans. Basically, Wegener, he was a climatologist. So this theory was developed on the basis of the climate change. So climate change was the main objective of Wegener, and later while working with climate change, he given his idea of continental drift. So these are the assumptions which was given by the Wegener. In this slide, we can see the four assumptions made by Wegener. First one is continental mass was made up of shale. Shale, we all know that shale is the nothing but the combination of silicon and aluminum, and ocean crust was made up of shima. That means the combination of two elements, which is silicon and magnesium. And third one, which is very important, that is continental mass floated over oceanic crust with minimum resistance between them. And last one is there was a huge united landmass named Pangaea in Carboniferous period, and it was surrounded by huge water body called Panthalassa. Here in this slide, I trying to show you what is Pangaea and what is Panthalassa. According to Wegener, in the Carboniferous period, all the continents were merged into a single supercontinent, and that was Pangaea. And the water body surrounding the Pangaea was known as Panthalassa. So here you can see the Panthalassa and Pangaea, which is present in the presentation. Also you can see that how different continents like Africa, North America, South America were merged together into a bigger supercontinent called Pangaea. In this slide, we can see that how Pangaea got divided into two parts. Those are Laurasia, or we say that Ongarland, and Laurasia always present in the southern hemisphere, a northern hemisphere, and in the Gondwana parts, it is lies in the southern hemisphere. After breaking, the movement of the two parts were absolutely different. Laurasia or Ongarland moved towards equator, and Gondwana moves towards west. According to Wegener, there was a sea present in between those two parts, and the sea is, you see that this is the Tethys Sea. Tethys Sea. So here I am going to say you about the movement of different continents. Wegener established that South America moved towards west and away from Africa. On the other hand, India moved towards north, and thus Indian Ocean was formed. Also, the Atlantic Ocean was formed due to westward drift of two Americas, and the shape of the Antarctic Ocean formed is S-shaped. On the other hand, Arctic and North Sea was formed due to flight of the continental block from the North Pole. This concept, flight of the continental block from the North Pole, it was given by the Wegener. What does it mean by flight of the continental block from the poles? That means the continents, those continents which moved away from the poles was known as the flight from the poles. So here I am basically describe the different movement which was given by the different movements of the different continents, which was given by the Wegener. So in the next slide, here I discuss the causes of continental drift. What are the causes of continental drift? So by the supporting of his theory, he has given lots of evidence, lots of causes, and which is clearly explained the concept. He also gave three causes of continental drift, and you can see that is clearly written on the whiteboard. It should be noted that the Laurentian continent moved due to gravitational differential force and the force of buoyancy, and the movement of Gondwana was only due to tidal force of the sun and the moon. So this is the Pangea. When it will divide it into two parts, in the northern hemisphere it is known as Laurasia, in the southern hemisphere it is known as Gondwana. So in the Laurasia continent, two forces is applied. One is gravitational differential forces and the force of buoyancy. But in the Gondwana, in the case of Gondwana, only one force is applied, which is tidal force. So this concept was given by Alfred Wegener. So next slide, we see the evidences for supporting of his theory. He had given lots of evidences. So here we are going to study about some evidences in support of continental drift. The first one we see on the whiteboard, that jigsaw fit, and this concept was given by Wegener. According to him, at present, if we clearly observe the continent, take the example of Africa and South America, they are going to be merged like we can see in the case of soap case. But now we can see there is a great Atlantic in between South America and Africa. So it clearly infer that once upon a time they might be attached to each other. Second one is the geological evidence that denotes that the Caledonian and Hercynian mountain system of the western and eastern coastal areas of the Atlantic are similar and identical. Thus, the similarity of geology of the two different areas give us the idea that they may have the same origin. Third one is fossil evidences. Here you can see the picture of the fossils of Mesosaurus, which was an aquatic reptile adapted to shallow brackish water. The fossil of this reptile has been found in two different areas. Those are Southern Cape of province of South Africa and Iravur formations of Brazil, and these two areas are situated 4,800 km away from each other. But how it is possible to get the same at such a great distance? It gives the evidence that the continents might be drifted. So here it is the fossil of Glossopteris, which was a fossil fund. It is found in North America, South Africa, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia. This fossil grows in the subpolar climate, but its fossil has been found and at different areas where it is not possible for those ferns to grow. But how those fossils came, this also give us the idea that once the continent were merged. So now we discuss about the limitations of continental drift theory. The force, so first one is the force, which was said by the Wegener was very weak. That is impossible to move those large continent with such a weak force, and it is one of the limitation of Wegener theory. And second one, when he taking the assumptions, according to him that Shial is floated over Shima, and later he also said that friction between Shial and Shima is cause for mountain formation. So these two types of statement was also criticized. Third one is, according to him, the drift started in Carboniferous period, but he was not able to describe about the pre-Carboniferous period. So these are the limitations of his theory. In spite of having many such limitations, his theory has much significance Many theory such as seafloor spreading, plate tectonic, neoplate tectonic, etc. developed on the basis of his concept. So now we are going to see questions from the previous year NET exam. If you understand the concept clearly, then you can easily answer this question. So here the first question is, which among the following was one of the forces responsible for continental drift according to Wegener? We know, if you I am already mentioned that three forces mentioned by Wegener. One is a tidal force, second is a force of buoyancy, third is a gravitational differential forces. So here matching one force, the tidal force. So tidal force is the right answer. This question is coming from December 2012. So next question, it is coming from 2013 September, and said that the question said the drift theory of Wegener was postulated mainly to explain, because Wegener is a climatologist, so that's why he wanted to know the climate changes. So that's why his theory mainly explained to measure climate change. So C is the right answer. Next question, July 2018, coming from in the NET exam. So which one of the following phenomena plays a vital role in the dispersion of majestic dinosaur? So continental drift is the right answer, because global cooling, zonal faulting, volcanic eruption is not related to the Wegener's theory. So continent, it's not related to that case. So that's why continental drift is the right answer. Last third, this question is coming from December 2015. Which of the following are evidences in favor of the continental drift theory? So the evidence, two evidences here said by the jigsaw feet, fossil in different areas, but transcurrent fault and convection in mantle, this is not said by the Alfred Wegener. So A and C, one is the right answer. And this question is coming from January 2017. That this is a very tricky question asked by the NTA. That which one of the following countries is devoid of Glossopteris flora? Glossopteris flora, if you see the Glossopteris flora, then you find out that the Glossopteris flora lies in the southern hemisphere, or you can say the Gondwana land is a part of the Gondwana lands. So India, Australia and South Africa is a part of the Gondwana land. So that's why Norway lies in the northern hemisphere, and in the Laurasia country is a part of the Laurasia. So that's why Norway is the right answer. So Norway is the right answer. So thank you. If you like my channel, then please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon